What's up? All right. Sorry for this little delay tonight, guys, but I'm here now. Um yeah, so I just had to there were some delays in getting stuff ready. We were doing stuff a little bit ago and got home a little later. So, 5 minutes. But hopefully we have some more people joining us here soon. I see there's a couple of you in here. So hey, what's up? Good to see you guys. You guys are the first ones to the party because this is going to be a party. Yeah. Hey, Coaster Scoop, what's up? I talked to you earlier. How's it going? Can't wait to see that new video, by the way, with a certain someone. All right. We got some more people joining us now. So I'm going to start everything off here. So this is episode 6 of Coaster Cafe now. So I think you guys are starting to get the hang of this, but for anybody that's new around here, I'm going to explain the outline as I always do. So at Coaster Cafe, what we do is I do the intro, talk about the coffee I'm drinking, and then I talk about several news items that I have listed off. And there's a lot of stuff this time, just like there was last week. So we talk about some news things in the industry. And all of that is for the first like half hour or so. It's very loose. We could go over that quite a bit, or it might even be less than that. But basically, for an hour or for half an hour or so, we talk about news things and all that other stuff. And then for the last half of the show, which is at least another half hour, um, it's a Q&A. So I open up the floor for you guys to ask any questions that you might want to ask. So make sure you have some really interesting questions ready for me tonight. So if you guys want to ask anything really out there or whatever, it's open to ask, open to ask anything. So think of some good questions for the later half of the show. So hey, Grady A says, "What poppin', Coaster Father? Coaster Father is here." So yeah. All right. Okay, guy. I see some questions. As I said, the Q&A is the last half of the show, so that's not going to be for a little bit. We're going to talk about things first, and we'll have discussions about some new stuff. And then the second half of the show is going to be a Q&A. But anyway, let's get into things here. So, starting off. Oh, you know what? This is embarrassing. I forgot something. All right. I forgot something. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. I promise I'll be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. Okay. Give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. I promise. All right. I told you guys I'd be right back. I did not forget my bag of coffee. I actually have the bag of coffee already. And I brewed the cup of coffee, which I have in my lightning rod mug here. My fancy little lightning rod mug. You guys like that? I love this mug. It's pretty cool. Go around and show you guys. One of my new favorite coasters. Obviously, I got to ride this in December 2019. And yeah, there will be a review of that at some point. Probably be at least another month or so until that review comes out. But yes, lightning rod mug. And what am I drinking tonight? What kind of coffee? All right. So I actually have a couple different things tonight. So what I have in my lightning rod mug is this Dunkin' Donuts Dunkin' Dark, which is really good. I actually prefer this much over the Starbucks French roast, which is a Starbucks dark roast that I have. I Dunkin' Donuts, just Starbucks has amazing quality coffee, but Dunkin' Donuts just delivers so much of a more consistent product, in my opinion. And you can always bet, on Dunkin' Donuts being a great coffee. So Dunkin' Donuts dark. But what else do I have tonight? I we were just out and I got a Starbucks smoked butterscotch latte. And when I first took a drink of this, I was pretty disappointed because I love butterscotch and I was like, "Ooh, smoked butterscotch. That sounds really good." Well, it is really really good. Like I am glad I got this. It tastes really good, but I don't really taste any butterscotch, but it is very very good. And I have some water as usual too and a cool little this light up guitar thing that I have. You can change colors. And you can also put it on one mode where it switches colors. It's all fancy and stuff. Where's the okay? This is the color changing one. So yeah, you guys like that? Pretty cool. All right. Do I like donuts? So which donuts place is your favorite? I mean, I like donuts. I don't think any of those donut places are particularly great at donuts. So I guess Krispy Kreme if they're fresh, I suppose, if I have to answer that. Only if they're fresh though. By the way, I have this Jackrabbit shirt on here. Just stand up and show you guys. Pretty awesome. I haven't worn this shirt in forever. Has a couple stains on it, so I don't wear it that much, but pretty cool. All right. Okay, all right, guys. Save those questions for the Q&A at the end of the show. Save those questions because those are some good questions. Yeah. All right. So to get started here, we're going to talk about some news, and I have a lot of topics to discuss tonight. So we're going to go through the list and we'll kind of, we'll just discuss these different things back and forth. So the first thing is PETA. I'm sure you guys know, like the animal rights activists. PETA bought stock in SeaWorld Entertainment and made a huge push to remove circus-style acts involving dolphins, like people riding dolphins and stuff like that. And all of those things will be phased out. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is actually pretty good. SeaWorld is moving more in that direction anyway, like not focusing on the sea life stuff. And obviously that's fine with us coaster enthusiasts. I'm sure none of you guys are complaining about that. I'm certainly not. Not a big fan of amusement parks having animals anyway. A lot of them just aren't taken care of very well. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. So, and also, I have not had a chance to look at this yet, but a survey has been put online by SeaWorld called the 2021 Roller Coaster Survey, which asks several questions about what type of ride you'd like to see at your favorite park. So, like I said, haven't got a chance to look at this for myself yet. But that sounds cool. I mean, obviously, SeaWorld just freaking went nuts this year. Put a new roller coaster, a new major coaster in every single one of their major parks. And it looks like for 2021, at least a couple of those parks are getting another huge coaster. So it's pretty wild. Honestly, it's pretty wild. And in 2021, who's to say that they won't do the same thing, or maybe every park will get another coaster for 2021. We'll see what happens. Pretty exciting stuff. So go check out that survey. There's a link to it on Screamscape. And by the way, I pulled all of these news items off of Screamscape. Screamscape is an awesome website, very reliable. Screamscape.com. Go check them out for sure. Lots of stuff on there. Way more stuff than I'm even covering on here. I just cover some of the things that are more interesting to me, but there's a lot of news items on there. So, all right, The next thing I want to talk about, Six Flags Parks have earned Certified Autism Center designation. I don't know exactly how they go about earning that, what the qualifications are, but apparently every Six Flags park is now a certified autism center. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully they do try to incorporate that stuff like wholeheartedly, and it's not just like a let's throw these things in there and get it qualified. That might be what it is. Who knows? Your favorite coaster sucks was talking about this. I listened to their new episode yesterday. Shout out to them. But and that's kind of what they were saying. Maybe it's just like they're meeting all the qualifications and it's just like whatever. But hopefully, that'd be cool if they actually did try to incorporate more autism centered, stuff into the parks, things to make it a better experience. I'm all for that. All right. The next thing we want to talk about, the thing I have listed here, the Disneyland ticket price increase has gone into effect. So that price hike that was announced, it's happened. No big surprise. Moving on. Um, SeaWorld Orlando, more SeaWorld news here. SeaWorld Orlando has filed demolition permits for a 3-acre site near the Antarctica penguin attractions, and it looks like there may be projects being planned for 2021 and 2022. Not a huge surprise, I guess. I mean, obviously, parks have to start planning things years out in advance. So it's not surprising that they would be working on 2022 plans and even probably having those finalized now, in February 2020. So, yeah. Um Six Flags Over Texas has placed the first piece of Aquaman track. That ride looks very interesting. I think it'll be a very good ride for that park. Let me know what you guys think about Aquaman Power Wave, or what is that what it's called? Aquaman Power Wave. Let me know what you guys think about that ride. That mock rides splash whatever. My mind's blank right now. I know what it's called, but yeah, pretty cool looking stuff. So the first piece of track is in place for that. And the next thing I have here. Oh my god. Okay, before I talk about the next news item, let's just say, did we not all see this coming? Okay. I've been saying this, everybody else has been saying this. This is about Six Flags Qiddiya. No, I'm sorry, not Six Flags Qiddiya. Um okay, this is about Six Flags working in China, okay? Six Flags and international projects never work out. It's just kind of a parody at this point. Like, it's just like, what? Okay, so a lawsuit has been filed against Six Flags from investors. The investors felt misled about the prospect of Six Flags moving into the Chinese market. They say that Six Flags did not reveal to them the true financial distress that Riverside, which is the Chinese partner company, was in. So, apparently, Riverside's trading ability on the Chinese stock market was frozen in December, and 90% of Riverside's staff was being laid off. And apparently, Six Flags didn't really make all of that clear to investors. Big surprise, right? Big surprise. Yeah. Not really. It's not surprising. Six Flags needs to pull their stuff together. They need to get it together, man. Like, such a huge company, so much potential for their properties, and so much is at stake. It seems like what is Six Flags doing? Just I don't know. All right, next thing, the Holy Land themed experience in Orlando may be sold off to local developers for use on a future project. So the Holy Land theme park, it's not really a true theme park with like rides and stuff, but it's a themed land, a themed experience. They have lots of stuff to do there. I actually just found out about this place. Um, from a Sir Willow video that he just released about his experience there about 10 years ago. And it sounds pretty interesting if you're into like biblical stuff. So it's just a place that's themed to the Bible, and telling like several historical just stories about like just things about the history of biblical things and then like spiritual stuff as well. I don't know a whole lot about the place, but it's in Orlando, maybe sold off for a future project. So, all right. I see some guys in the chat here recently talking about Jersey Devil. So this next thing actually has to do with Jersey Devil. Great looking 2020 ride, by the way. Possibly the best new ride of 2020. Well, Iron Gwazi will probably be better, but Jersey Devil looks amazing. So the last of the concrete has been poured for Jersey Devil. More steel shipments are coming in soon, according to the park. This is all from the park, by the way. They put this update online. They also posted front car pictures, and the front of the cars look awesome. Just basically exactly like they looked like in the animation. Just really cool looking. So, like I said, this ride's not going to be open by the time I get there in June, but one can dream. All right. More lawsuits. Who wants to talk about lawsuits? Are you guys ready for more lawsuits? These stories are always crazy, I swear. These are guest, like theme park guest lawsuits, by the way, that we're going to talk about. Yeah, RMC does no wrong. That's true. Yep, that's right. It's lawsuit time with your coaster father. All right. So, what is this lawsuit, or what are these lawsuits, I should say? So, two lawsuits have been filed against Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So, the first one is a guest that rode Trade Winds, which is their Himalaya ride. Those rides that spin around in a circle and go up and down and play music, those little flat rides. A guest rode that at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and they said they were injured, but there are no details available about this. So we don't know how the injury occurred, if it even occurred on the ride. Like Screamscape said, it could have just been like on the ramp, like getting off or on the ride or something like that. But somehow it's related to that ride, supposedly, and nothing is known about it. So there's not really much else to say, but somebody's trying to sue them for whatever might have happened there. The second thing is against BGW. The second thing is this is another situation where a guest is claiming to have been scared by an employee during Hallow Scream, their Halloween event. She says that she was hit in the head in a locker room area before entering the park. But I guess according to Screamscape, they said many people be quick to point out there are no locker rooms before you even enter the park. So the validity of that automatically just goes like way down. I guess the first locker rooms are like in the park way beyond any of the entry plaza or anything. So yeah. You find it hard to see someone getting hurt? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been on those Super Himalaya rides, and I could kind of see how it might be tough for some people to navigate the up and down ramps and stuff, but I mean, I feel like it should just be like, if you don't think you can handle that, why would you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even bother with it? Um, it just sounds kind of like something that'll get thrown out. I don't know. Who knows? Like, but like I said, we don't know any of the details surrounding it. So we don't it might have been on the ride. I don't know, you know. All right. Universal Orlando has actually this really good ticket deal. Okay. So this might be good for some of you guys if you guys are thinking about going there. Universal Orlando. If you purchase 2-day tickets, that's 2-day tickets, you get 2 days for free. You must purchase these tickets by August 13th, 2020, and you must use all 4 days by December 18th, 2020. There are no blackout dates, but you must use the 4 days within 7 days of going on the first day. So the first time you go, you have to use those 4 days within 7 days after that. But yeah, that's actually a really good deal. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about going there, that's definitely look into that for sure. Because I mean, if I ever go to Universal, I'm definitely spending at least 2 days there. I'm not going this year, but not that I know of. But yeah, 2 days for or 4 days for the price of 2 days. That's pretty awesome. So you think that they are picking up on Disney? Do you mean that like they're trying to bring more business in because of what Disney is doing? Or yeah, Disney's always going to be at the top. I mean, it's Disney. I mean, Universal is up there. You know, they make tons of money, but personally, as a roller coaster enthusiast, I'd much rather go to Universal than Disney myself. I would like to get to Disney at some point. That would be very cool. Don't get me wrong. But I would definitely choose Universal any day over Disney. Um, better coasters, better rides. I like the style better, I don't know. I live in Ohio as well. So yeah, do have to do lots of planning for a trip like that. Lots of time off work, all that stuff. Click your logo and subscribe. No. SeaWorld Productions is advertising himself here. All right. So, or herself, whoever you are. I'm not assuming genders. I don't know. All right. So, we have more SeaWorld news actually. So, SeaWorld is paying $65 million to investors after being accused of lying about the effects of blackfish on the chain. So here we have another huge theme park chain apparently lying to investors, and so now they're having to pay all this money. What what are these companies doing? What the hell are they doing? I don't understand. Six Flags, SeaWorld, they're just Cedar Fair's probably done something as well. Who knows? But we got all these lawsuits and these companies lying to investors. Like, what the hell is going on? Seriously, what? I don't understand it. Yes, yes, $65 million is two B&M Giga coasters. You could spend, you could spend $32.5 million and get two pretty good size Giga coasters that are probably even slightly bigger than Orion. Like what are what are these guys doing? I mean, I know they have a shit ton of money, but still, that's a lot of money just to pay to somebody for lying to them. Well, actually, no. I say two Orions or slightly more than Orion because Actually, the price of steel has gone way up in recent years. And the thing is, even though Fury is so huge, like so much bigger in length and height and everything than Orion, Fury 325 only 6 years ago cost $30 million. It was like, yeah, $30 million, or maybe only 25 even. So it's either like the same price as Orion or it was even less, maybe. And it's a way bigger ride. That's how much the price of steel has increased. Like it's just gone way up. So $32.5 million could not buy Fury 325 in 2020. I'm thinking he'd have to spend like $35 million at least to get a Fury 325, you know. Fury got government subsidies. Oh, I don't know anything about that, but I'll take your word for it. All right. I have one more thing here on the docket to talk about as far as like news items. Let me know if there's any other news things that you guys know about. Maybe some significant things I'm missing or whatever. I know somebody was talking about Iron Gwazi earlier. They have started doing some testing on that. They haven't like done, full tests on it, like where it's going around the full circuit. But I know they started off by doing brake tests, and somebody said they're doing block tests. So that's pretty awesome. I can't wait to see like a full test of that and see the footage and eventually a POV finally. That'll be awesome. That ride looks like it's going to be insane. Okay, yeah, so the last news item actually, somebody just mentioned this as well. Um Ben just mentioned here. This is actually the last thing I have listed to talk about tonight. Kings Island is responding to noise complaints. We have more lousy noise complaints. Ah, Kings Island is responding to these noise complaints from the surrounding area. They're going to pre-fill rails on Orion track with sand in anticipation of increased noise from that ride. And they're going to go back and fill certain sections of Diamondback's track based on advice from an acoustic engineer. So, yeah, noise complaints, filling rails with sand, the usual stuff, Many other parks have had to do this. Um, I don't know why parks don't just fill these things with sand from the get-go, because I mean, I'm sure it does cost a lot of money to add something like that. You need a lot of sand for that. But people are probably going to be complaining about noise, around these huge parks. Just fill them with sand from the get-go, I don't know why they don't do that, but yeah, like I said, price probably, but still, if people are probably going to complain, just fill it with sand. Makes too much sense, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it'll give them an excuse to repaint Diamondback. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think Diamondback looks too bad yet. I mean, I think it could reasonably go for another couple seasons before it absolutely needs a repaint. Something that really needs repainted is Phantom's Revenge. That's looking really bad. They really need to repaint that. I'm sure they will in the next few years, hopefully. And also, somebody mentioned Stamford Bridge. Actually, mentioned um, ground is being staked out for a 20th coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I have I've seen some videos and stuff about that. Um, yeah, so that's pretty exciting. What is Magic Mountain's 20th coaster going to be? It was supposed to be West Coast Racers. It was announced as their 20th coaster. Obviously, they had to remove Green Lantern. Um, Sounds like that was a good thing. But what do you think Magic Mountain's 20th coaster is going to be? That's insane. 20 coasters. Holy crap. That still blows my mind. Imagine when they have like 25. if they have room for 25. Energylandia is going to catch up with them probably in 6 months. Energylandia will probably have 20 coasters before Magic Mountain does, honestly. An RMC Raptor. Okay, yeah. Yeah, something like a Jersey Devil. Actually, oh, you know what? Yeah, I watched the Amusement Insiders video, and Brennan talked about how somebody like laid out like all of the like the sites for the potential footers or whatever. And apparently it looks like this Magic Mountain coaster may actually be a clone of Jersey Devil. So that'd be pretty cool. I mean, the clones we have now are so much better than the clones that we used to have to deal with. You know, the SLCs, the boomerangs. You know, those are just not very good. And now we have stuff like, you know, not that I've ridden them, but that I know are so much better. Like, you know, the Skyrocket 2s, even the Vekoma family boomerangs, the you know, the Raptors, like so much better, you know. I totally would not mind having those kinds of rides at every park, you know, unlike the boomerang or things like that. Yeah, hopefully it won't open a year late. Indeed. It would be nice for it to be an original Raptor coaster, but you know, two opposite ends of the country. And it's gonna be an amazing ride, like so it's whatever, you know. It's whatever. It'd be nice if Magic Mountain got a Giga, but it's not gonna happen. It's Six Flags. They just don't spend that kind of money on rides anymore. Um, Even if it was an RMC and it would be cheaper than a B&M or things like that, it's still gonna be way too much for Six Flags. So yeah. Any other really exciting news things? Because if not, we got some trivia for you guys. It do be like that sometimes. You got it. Oh, by the way, before we segue into the next section, um, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have this backdrop behind me. I got this right here. I've actually had this for a really long time, never really used it, but back a long time ago when I was originally a coaster enthusiast, I got this for Christmas. It's really nice actually. And I decided to set up like a backdrop for my like little studio space here. And this room is absolutely tiny. I got a backdrop stand, but the way this room is set up, I had to move it in like really, really close to me, which I do not like. I still need to optimize things in here to like get everything to look right. Um, it's not perfect yet, but still, I think it still looks pretty decent with it sitting behind me like this. What do you guys think about this? The amusement park. Yeah, so thank you. And I'm going to be getting a new webcam pretty soon. Right now I'm just using the one on my laptop, but I'm actually going to be getting a decent webcam here pretty soon. I'm pretty stoked about that. It'll be so much nicer than what you're seeing right now. The colors on this, like the colors on everything just look terrible with my current my laptop webcam. So it'll look so much better once I do get that new webcam. It might be featured. The new webcam may be used on next week's show, or it might not be for another couple weeks. But either way, pretty soon I'll have better quality on my live streams, hopefully. So I am looking forward to that. All right, guys. Who's ready for trivia? You guys ready for trivia? Here's a bonus trivia question. What song am I humming? I know it's wonderful. Uh Wonderful. I know. Top-notch entertainment here for your Saturday night. This is wild. This wild Saturday night here with Coaster Daddy. Yes, it is the Millennium Force theme song. I'm glad somebody sort of recognized it. It's actually my ringtone, by the way. That is Coaster Daddy's ringtone on his phone. The Millennium Force theme. How cool is that? I know, so basic of me, but brr, 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 brr. There's some breeze for you. Yeah. Yes, it's the same song that I was singing in my Cedar Point parking vlog. I didn't think anybody would remember that. It is the same one, yes. It's such a good theme song. It is. It's a very good coaster soundtrack. All right, guys. No more wasting time. We're going to get to trivia now. All right. We're going to do our first trivia question here. So, the first one is about a coaster that I've actually been on. This coaster goes by the name of Blue Streak. Okay. So, first question. Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park, which is in Conneaut, Pennsylvania, is one of only 2 roller coasters left operating in the world, designed by the great early 1900s roller coaster designer Edward A. Vettel. What is the only other remaining Edward Vettel designed coaster left operating in the world? So he designed 11 coasters, I believe. Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park is one of only 2 of those coasters that he designed left in operation in the world. So besides Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park, what Edward Vettel designed coaster is still in operation? Thank you, Stanford Bridge. Thank you. I thought it'd be a fun question. I try to think of unique things that not a whole lot of people know about. I don't want to just go for, super obvious stuff that everybody and his mom knows about. Oh, you'd have to check RCDB for the answer. Oh man, we don't want to resort to that, do we? Yeah, anybody. Any guesses even? No, Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park. I said Conneaut Lake Park. Blue Streak at Conneaut Lake Park. Designed by Ed Vettel. There's one other Edward Vettel coaster still in operation in the world. Which coaster is that? We'll wait here for a minute, see if anybody has any clue of what it is. I know when I say this ride, other people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, like you'll know the ride." But it's not one that necessarily a lot of people have gotten out to because it is not Thunderbolt though. That's a good guess. I think you're referring to Thunderbolt at Kennywood because Thunderbolt at Kennywood was it was not the Six Flags New England one either. But Thunderbolt at Kennywood was actually designed by another somebody with a very similar Vettel. It was like Andy Vettel, I believe. No relation as far as I know. Yes, Cyclone. Coas. Yeah, Coas has the answer here. It is Cyclone. Which Cyclone is it, Coas? Tell us. It is a coaster called the Cyclone, but there are so many Cyclones out there. Which Cyclone, which was designed by Edward A. Vettel, is one of only 2 Edward A. Vettel coasters in operation still? The name, we do have the correct name, Cyclone, but which Cyclone is it? Oh, he's going back to RCDB. Yep. Stamford Bridge has it here. The one at Lakeside. Cyclone at Lakeside, okay? Lakeside Amusement Park in Denver, Colorado. Now, that is actually also the last ever roller coaster designed by Edward Vettel. It opened on May 17th, 1940. It has a height and drop of 80 feet, a drop angle of 50 degrees, and is 2,800 feet in length. We don't have an official speed stat. I'm sure it's probably around 45 miles an hour or so, 40, 45. But the very unique, cool looking trains on the ride were originally designed by Edward Vettel, but were later rebuilt by the park. And as a side note, the Blue Streak itself at Conneaut Lake Park is actually one of Edward Vettel's last coasters as well. It was his third to last coaster that he designed, and it opened in 1938, 2 years before the Cyclone, which was his last. But here's something really cool. I thought this was so cool, being a nerd. Yeah, I want to visit Lakeside as well. Yes, I really want to go there, especially to ride Cyclone. But anyway, Edward Vettel, I found out when I was on RCDB, he was born in Sandusky, Ohio in 1885, which was 15 years after Cedar Point opened, but before their first roller coaster was ever built. But this is cool too, because I was born in Sandusky, actually. So, Cedar Point, Edward Vettel, Coaster Daddy, we're all from Sandusky. Born in Sandusky. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you for the cup.
You're welcome.
Check it out.
Check what out?
My bomb ass drink.
What am I checking out?
My drink.
Oh, that looks good.
Right?
Yes, I have coasters in my blood. This is my calling. This is what I was meant to do. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. This is my calling. Roller coasters. What made me a coaster enthusiast? I shouldn't be answering questions right now. This ain't the Q&A. Ask me that later, and I'll tell you my answer, which I'm just going to tell you to go watch one of my videos because I talked about that in my 500 subscriber special. So go watch that. Joler boasters, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Don't subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so I have one more trivia question for you guys, as usual. Okay. And like I said, we'll be getting to the Q&A pretty soon, so make sure you guys have some interesting questions up here in your little noggins, all right? All right, so excuse me. Okay, guys, this one is really cool. There's a really interesting story with the second question I have, so I'm going to go into that a little bit and we'll discuss it. Wait until I'm done asking like the entire wait until I'm done, reading off this entire thing before you start guessing, because some of you might know it right off the bat. But this is really cool here. Okay. In 1999, a coaster group called RCCGB, not sure exactly what that stands for, but in 1999, a coaster group called RCCGB visited an amusement park on one particular day. There was an employee operating a particular coaster at this park who was very disgruntled, apparently, and wanted to get let go from working at the park. So how did he go about getting fired? Well, Dennis, which was the name of the ride operator, ran this particular coaster through the station several times with no brakes, forcing the train to maneuver hairpin turns and tiny hills through the station and halfway up the lift hill relentlessly with no stopping. What park and coaster did this now infamous incident happen on? I'm sure some of you guys have heard of this. See you, man. And I'm laughing about it, and it's kind of funny to think about it, but really it's not. Like, a lot of people could have been very seriously hurt or even killed, just because somebody was pissed off at the place they work at and they wanted to get even with them. Like, a lot of people could have really been hurt. I don't think anybody was injured as far as I know from this incident. I could be wrong. Yeah, everyone was okay as far as I know, but a lot of people could have seriously been hurt in this incident just because somebody was pissed off at the park. Does anybody know what coaster that is? You're not going to find this on RCDB, by the way. I already checked. The RCDB page doesn't even mention this at all. So, yep, Coaster Lover 2001 has it. It was Outlaw at Adventureland. Okay. All right, so let me give you guys more of a story on this. Outlaw at Adventureland in Altoona, Iowa, was opened on April 24th, 1993. This was a very early Custom Coasters International ride, but looks and acts very much like a prototype GCI because it was the first coaster designed by Mike Boodley, who would go on to form GCI, Great Coasters International. So when Dennis, the ride operator, ran the train through the course multiple times with no brakes, he effectively caused 5 years worth of damage to the ride in under 1 hour. Now, I didn't actually know till today that there was footage out there of this incident. Okay, so I watched this footage on YouTube. Yeah, David J. Ellis. Yes. So footage of this once in a lifetime occurrence is available to watch courtesy of David J. Ellis on YouTube. And he has a lot of fantastic footage available on his channel of many roller coasters from like all around the world, I believe. But he has tons of stuff on there. Go check his channel out and subscribe. Lots of great content. But he actually was at Adventureland this day, apparently, or I don't know exactly if he was there. He has footage on there though of this incident, and it was crazy watching this because, like, you had all these coaster enthusiasts riding, and they're just like cheering and going nuts, and they're laughing their asses off, and they're just flying through the whole ride without stopping. I mean, they probably got at least a good 4 or 5 rides on this thing. At least I don't know exactly how many times it went around, but um like, holy crap, you hear these guys laughing and everything. Luckily that coaster only runs with one train, so there wasn't even any possibility of it running into another train. um but it's like, it's nuts. And even though you hear all these people laughing and everything, like I said, people could have been very seriously hurt in this incident. People could have died, I mean, depending on circumstances, and it's scary to think that somebody had the ability to do something like that just because for whatever reason they were mad at the place they're employed at. So it's kind of funny to think about it, but if anybody would have been hurt, it would have been a totally different story for sure. Oh, thanks for the clarification, Tim K. The RCCGB is Roller Coaster Club of Great Britain. I figured it stood for Great Britain, something like that. But yeah, very interesting story. Kind of cool to watch the footage and hear people's reactions. You have all these old dudes, all these coaster enthusiasts just geeking out because they're getting this endless buffet of rides on this wooden coaster. And I couldn't imagine flying through those unbanked turns like at the end of the ride, going who knows how fast, probably at least 30, 35 miles an hour. Like, holy crap. All right, guys. We've dragged all of this on for long enough now. I'm gonna open this up to you guys for questions. So we're gonna do a Q&A now. So ask away. Think of some good, interesting questions for me. Does not have to be related to roller coasters. It can be, of course, but it does not have to be. So let's think of some good, interesting ones. All right. What do we got? Nope, I don't. Yes, I will bring back the Whatever Happened to series. Of course, yes. I love that series and everybody else loves it. So it seems like people really enjoy it. I love doing those videos too. So um what do I do? What is my job? Okay, so this is something I've never got to talk about on here. What I have a full-time job working as um I take care of people with developmentally disabled. So I work with developmentally disabled adults in like a day center, like where they go for the day to work, and do leisure activities and stuff like that. That's my full-time job. So that's what I do. Theme Park Media asks my top 3 travel destinations, not theme park related. Oh, that's so tough because when I think of traveling, I'm just thinking theme parks. Like that's the only reason I want to travel is to go to theme parks, pretty much. Honestly, I don't. That's a good question, but I don't really know how to answer that. The Bree version of One Train Ops, I am not aware of that, so I don't know. Do I think parks would buy the new Vekoma models over Intamins? I think a lot of parks probably would, because a lot of parks can't afford Intamins, and many more parks are able to afford those large scale Vekomas. So I would say yeah, for the most part, yeah. What is my favorite non RMC coaster model? Um, I guess as far as what I've actually experienced, probably I guess the Intamin Gigas or a B&M Giga. I don't know. That- It's a really hard question for me. Stamford Bridge, yes, I do have a lot of patience actually. And I'm guessing you're saying that because of the job I do. Yes, it really tests my patience a lot. It really does test my patience. Um, but I am very patient and very good at working with people, and I think that makes me pretty good for that job. So, yeah. How many rides have one train ops? I don't know. Too many. There should never be one train ops unless it's a kiddie coaster, I suppose. Do I think Six Flags will work with GCI again? The last Six Flags GCI coaster was Apocalypse. Um, I think they will. Well, maybe, yeah. I think maybe they will, even if just to do like a retrack of like Roar or something like that. I think they will. Kyle Coaster, how do you create a live chat? At the top of the YouTube page, there's just a little like camera icon. You press that, and then you press go live, and then you set up a live stream. So look up videos too if you're confused, because I know there's probably tutorials. Well, it's kind of weird to think about tutorials about that on YouTube, but anyway, Food is a big part of the theme park experience, Michael Flynn says. What is your favorite park and carnival foods? I don't eat a lot. I have not typically eaten a lot when I've gone to parks just because of the price. I did get a meal I did buy the meal plan for Cedar Fair for this year though, so I will be eating more this year, but by far the best park food I've had, no question whatsoever is Dollywood. Oh my gosh, Dollywood has freaking phenomenal food. It is oh, it's so good. So good. This is a live stream. I created it already. Bray, 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 one train hops. There you go. Zach asked me any plans on riding Georgia Scorcher. Not currently, no, but I'm sure one day I'll get to it. And I'm not going to be jumping up and down either. I'll tell you that. My favorite defunct coaster that I've ridden. Um, that's a good question. Uh, hmm. I guess I guess I would say Vortex at Kings Island or maybe Wildcat at Cedar Point. Or no, I'm sorry. Big Dipper at Geauga Lake all the way. Big Dipper, I love that ride. How could I forget that ride? Yes, Big Dipper at Geauga Lake. By far my favorite defunct coaster that I've experienced. So, miss that ride a lot. Miss that park, of course. Do I think Intamin will make any more original Gigas? Yes, there's one coming to BGW in 2021. But any like typical Gigas with a lift hill, um, I don't know. I don't think that we're gonna see a whole lot more Gigas out there anytime soon. So, oh yeah, I-305 is amazing. Oh, Hershey Park had good pizza. That's good to hear. I'll keep that in mind for when I go to Hershey if I want to eat anything there. BGW has amazing food. That's not surprising. I would picture them having good quality food. I've heard Knoebels is great. So when I go there, I'm excited to see what they have to offer. Yeah, yeah, hello. I'm on YouTube, peoples. Jeez. Cheez Its. What defunct coaster do I wish I could have ridden? Uh, Cyclone at Crystal Beach. Yes. That infamous Harry Trevor coaster. Most people I've ever gotten on Coaster Cafe, like 20. I don't know. What do I like to do in my free time besides roller coasters? I play guitar, so I like doing that. Um, that's that's really about it. I don't have much of a life. I work a lot, and then I spend a lot of my time doing my videos and this stuff, which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. But yeah, so I play guitar. I love music. I listen to tons of new music releases constantly. Me and my friend like to talk about those. So I think I've listened to like close to 20 albums that have been released in 2020 so far. So last year I listened to like 120 or something like that. So am I attending any coaster events this year? I would love to attend Hollywood Nights, but that is 1 week before I'm supposed to be going on my big trip. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. It's just going to be too much, I think. But I would love to get to Halloween Nights. That's the only one I could actually see myself trying to get to, though. Oh, good to hear Hershey Park has good food. All right, good to hear. Which aspect, Stanford Bridge asks, which aspect of coasters, airtime, speed, G-force, hang time, transitions, do other enthusiasts rave about, but I don't care about that much? I out of all of those, I guess I would say transitions. I mean, I think, but even still, I do think transitions can be very important. But I think sometimes enthusiasts will maybe put more emphasis on those than they should. So I guess transitions. Oh yeah, yeah, I do have the platinum pass. It's definitely worth it. What's up, Coaster Daddy? How's your Valentine's Day weekend been? And what is your opinion on the Abyssus construction? I've not seen the Abyssus construction updates at all, so I don't know. It looks like it'll be an awesome ride though. And my Valentine's Day weekend has been pretty good. Yeah. Me and my wife just went out on a date, a Valentine's date a little bit ago, actually. Couple hours ago. It was nice. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Which 2020 coasters will I ride? If Jersey Devil would be open by the time I get there, I'd ride that, but I'm not gonna because it's not gonna be open. But Orion will probably be the only one as far as I know currently, unless there's other plans that happen kind of last minute or whatever. It'll probably just be Orion this year for Candemonium, of course, Candemonium. I should be getting on that too, so stoked for that. Most viewers on a coaster cafe, I answered that already. What do I think the B&M Surf Coaster is? I did a whole video about that. Go check that out for my thoughts. Short answer though, I'm not really sure, but I do go into depth more in that video. What do I think Cedar Point's next coaster is, and what is the next coaster to go? Well, quite a while ago, like a year ago, I did a video about both of those, like which coaster I think could get removed next from Cedar Point, which I've maybe changed my mind. I'm always changing my mind about that because honestly, I don't really know. I think there are many options and I see points for all of them, but it's I don't know. But I also did a video around the same time talking about um what coaster I think Cedar Point could get next. So I would suggest go checking that out. I might do an updated one at some point. My June trip is not with Chris from Airtime Thrills. It is with Chris, but not that Chris. I have a friend whose name is Chris, but not Chris from Airtime Thrills. But it'd be cool to do a trip with him at some point. So if you're watching this Airtime Thrills, I also need to do video with him. We need to make a video together. So oh, Stanford Bridge has a trivia question for me. Okay. Which Ohio roller coaster is mentioned in a Beach Boys song? Oh man. Which coaster would the Beach Boys have mentioned in one of their songs? That's in Ohio. Is it a defunct or operating one in Ohio? Can you give me that at least, or do you not want to give that away? It's guessable for me. Which coaster? Ah, man. It's defunct. Okay. Is it the Big Dipper at Geauga Lake? I bet it's Big Dipper. I'm guessing that. Big Dipper. Ben says Big Dipper as well with a question mark. That's what I'm guessing. Oh man, it's not. Okay, is it Wildcat at Idora Park? Or maybe Jackrabbit at Idora Park? Flying Turns at Euclid Beach. Is it that? Oh, nice, nice. All right. Flying Turns at Euclid Beach. Yeah. That was a pretty popular ride back in its time. I wish Euclid Beach was still around. That'd be awesome to see that park. So what is that Beach Boys song? Tell me what song they mentioned that in, because I'll go listen to that later. Have I ever thought about doing a collab with Derek from X Scream Thrills and or Evan from Rampaging Rex Productions? Yeah, I have thought about that. Specifically X Scream Thrills, but Rampaging Rex a bit too. That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love to do collaborations with them. So I think there are quite a few collabs I would like to do at some point. So we'll have to get in touch with each other and talk about that, I suppose. I don't think any of those guys are in my stream right now, but yeah. I've seen Rex on here before, Rampaging Rex. Oh, the song is called Amusement Parks USA. Okay. Cool. That's cool. I wonder if Beach Boys were coaster enthusiasts back in the day. They have a song called Amusement Parks USA. Top 3 park chains and the best park in them. Number 1, Cedar Fair. Or maybe SeaWorld. Number 1, SeaWorld. Number 2, Cedar Fair. Number 3, Number 3, Merlin, I guess. Cedar Point for Cedar Fair. SeaWorld Orlando. Or no. Busch Gardens Tampa. Probably for SeaWorld. And for Merlin, I guess Alton Towers. Oh, Jonathan is Rampaging Rex. That sounds more like, yeah, okay. I didn't think Evan sounded right. Well, RMC said that the T-Rex could get up to 500 feet. I still think we're many years off from that, though. What did I think of Coaster Studios' top 10 coasters in Japan? It was his opinion, and I mean, he had a lot of good rides on there, so it was good, I guess, yeah. I'm going to Hershey Park for the first time this year. I'm stoked. So I'll do reviews and everything after that, of course. Do I need to buy a 7, 8, or 9 string guitar? Yeah, I don't have any of those. I just have 6 strings. There was one point in time where I was like, I would never want to get anything besides a 6 string, but I've changed my attitude towards that a little bit. I wouldn't mind having like a 7 or even 8 string guitar at some point. Not that I need it, but it'd be kind of cool. Oh, okay. Tim K says Beach Boys have a song called Palisades Park, and Palisades Park was in New Jersey. I have heard a lot about that park. It's very famous. And I do remember hearing about that song as well, so I'll have to check that out. I think the Beach Boys were coaster enthusiasts. I think they were. I have not been to BGW. Oh, Beach Boys also have a song called Salt Lake City that mentions Lagoon. Wow, that is really cool. They have a lot of songs about amusement parks. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, Theme Park Crazy had that video from my APA with RMC. Yeah. Yep, I talked about the Jersey Devil clone earlier in this live stream, yeah. If I could have one ride cloned, what ride would it be? Um, I feel like hmm, I feel like El Toro maybe would be a good like major coaster to have cloned. I suppose. Yeah, Tim K. I would say we can confirm that. What is the best in-house made coaster? Um, the best one I've been on is the Beast, but probably Cannibal at Lagoon. Do I think Candemonium will be the best hyper coaster? I don't think it's going to be the best. I mean, Steel Vengeance is a hyper, and Steel Vengeance um, could potentially be the best B&M hyper. I don't think it will be the best B&M hyper, but I think it'll be like up there. I'm really looking forward to experiencing it because it looks quite a bit like Mako. So yeah, Coaster Studios and OVC have really been hyping up Big Boom with that first drop, and it does look amazing. That first drop on Big Boom, it looks phenomenal. So, when is the live stream ending? Actually, pretty soon, probably. Because this is went really by really fast tonight, but we've been on here for an hour and 12 minutes. That's crazy. Why do I think Intamin stopped making prefabs? Because nobody wanted to pay for them. Plain and simple. Best model, best defunct model, they can still operate. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to ask. Metallica, where Mustaine never left, or where Cliff never died. Where Cliff never died, obviously. That just so tragic. No question about that. Plus Megadeth, I prefer Megadeth way over Metallica anyway. So I'm glad that Dave got booted out and started Megadeth. This kind of a personal question, and you don't have to answer it, but is your YouTube channel monetized? It's not really a personal question, because many people can clearly see if it's monetized or not. But to answer your question, it is monetized. Once I hit 1,000 subs, I decided to go the monetized route. So yes, it is monetized. Don't make a lot of money, barely make any money from it, but a little bit of extra stuff to support my travels to parks and stuff like that this year. So that'll be pretty cool. Can't complain about that. So thank you guys so much, by the way. You guys got trivia questions for me tonight. What manufacturer only built 2 wooden coasters? One lasted only for 14 months, and the other was Dania Beach Hurricane. What was it? I think it was called like Coaster Works or something like that. It had like the name Coaster in it, and it was like I think like Coaster Works or something along those lines. Viper is a very underrated and forgotten about in-house oh yeah, Viper at Six Flags Great America. That actually might be, for me personally, the best in-house coaster. I haven't ridden it yet, but I think it could be the best in-house coaster. What coaster exceeded expectations? Copperhead Strike by quite a bit. What coaster was my biggest disappointment? Valraven. Megadeth never sold out. Michael, I think a lot of people would disagree with you on that, but to be honest, I never really care about bands selling out. Like everybody whines about bands changing their sound and stuff, but my mind's really open to different sounds and I like all kinds of different music. And those that's their job. They have to make money. So I completely understand like even if bands want to change their sound for more commercial appeal, like it's whatever, you know. Sometimes it does suck, but in certain situations, but it's their job, you know. So, oh, Coaster Works, I was right. Okay. Do I think other coaster companies will make 40 coasters like S&S? I hope that B&M does. Go see my B&M surf coaster video from recently. If you're going to Jason Rice says if you're going to Hershey Park, some tips are ride Skyrush in a middle seat, do the scoot back trick, ride Comet front row, try Stormer on the front and back, and ride back row Lightning Race. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Airtime Thrills thinks Copperhead Strike is overrated. That's his opinion. That's totally fine. Um, but I got 7 rides on it and I had a blast on it every single time. I love that ride. I loved it way more than I thought I would. It was really good. So, like, I knew it would be a good ride and I knew I'd have fun on it, but I thought it was really good actually. Can't wait to try Time Traveler at some point in the future. Okay, Stanford Bridge says American Thunder, which is at Six Flags St. Louis, was really underrated. Yeah, that one doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but the people that have been on it, a lot of them will say it's a very, very solid ride. Michael asks, "What's the fastest I can play guitar?" I don't know the beats per minute, but pretty fast. I would say I can play. I can't do like really complicated like shredding and stuff like that. But when I play guitar, I basically just jam and just like noodle around, and I can play pretty darn fast, especially with like tremolo picking. So Jason says Comet, which is at Hershey Park, front row has Phoenix level airtime. It's so underrated. Yeah, I think I think Comet at Hershey Park does look like an underrated ride. I can't wait to check it out. Do I think other roller coaster companies will make suspended coasters like Arrow? That would be awesome. I would love to see S&S bring back the suspended. I'm not counting on it, but that would be really cool. So I hope it happens. I don't think it will happen though. I'm not expecting it anyway. If I made a channel not about coasters, what would it be? Okay, that's a good question actually. Cuz I have thought about maybe doing another channel or something. I don't think I will because I dedicate so much of my time to working and doing this. But if I did another channel, it would just be like I've thought about doing like coffee, like reviewing coffee cuz I love coffee. Um Actually, in the past, in like 2015, before I got back into roller coasters, I tried doing music reviews and on my personal channel, and they're still up as well. If you look around hard enough, you can find them. On my personal YouTube account, I did music reviews for like 2 months, and I was not very good at it. My heart wasn't really in it, but I thought I would like to review music. But I think because I love music so much, it was just hard for me to objectively look at things. So if you know what I'm saying. Have I, Derek, and Jonathan ever thought about doing a meetup at either Cedar Point or Kennywood? We've never talked directly, about doing anything like that. So Do I play guitar on the Strats, like a Fender Strat? My first electric guitar was a Fender Stratocaster copy, if that's what you're asking. Airplane fan says one of my friends thought Comet was rough. He did it in the back, but I didn't think it was. Okay. I mean, wooden coasters are just going to be rough by nature, but the real difference is when they're painful. I don't mind a rough wooden coaster as long as it's not too rough to where it's painful, you know? No, I'm not a gaming fan. I hate gaming. I've never been into it. Not interested at all. So, not a gaming channel. No way. Do I think any more SNS Extreme 40 coasters will be built and where? No, I don't, honestly. What's that music review channel called? So, it's actually my personal YouTube channel. It's just my name. It's an account I made a long time ago. I decided to start uploading videos. Dale Lap, that's my name. So look up Dale Lap, and you can find a few album reviews and stuff on there. They're not good. I'm warning you, they're not good, but they're on there. I might remove them at some point. Honestly, I don't know. All right, thanks for joining us. Don't subscribe. Thank you. Do I do drop towers? Occasionally. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I have to be in a particular mood to want to ride a drop tower, but I've done a few of them. The ones I've been on are okay, you know. You know, I've been on Demon Drop when it was at Cedar Point. I've been on Power Tower. I've been on X Scream at Waldemere. I've been on. I think I've been on at least one other one. Can't think of what it was. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Enjoy it, Coaster Scoop. Enjoy it. It's pretty awful. So, do I like Ferris wheels? No, I do not. I've not even been on. I went on a Ferris wheel like one time in my whole life, and that was when I was like 5, and I was forced to ride it. I was forced to ride it. Yeah, Stamford Bridge. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about them. I usually skip them as well. Yeah. And like you said, unless you've done everything else and someone you're with wants to do it, like, sure, okay, whatever. But see you, man. See ya. What's my favorite Skyrocket 2? I haven't been on any. No, yeah, I did think last year about possibly getting on the Ferris wheel at Cedar Point just for the photo opportunities. They scare the crap out of me though. What's a new coaster model I would like to see and from what manufacturer? If you saw my surf coaster video, you'll know that I would love to see an extreme 4D coaster, something along the lines of X2 by B&M. I would love to see that. My favorite Vekoma, um, my favorite Vekoma that I've personally experienced. I've only been on a few handful of Vekomas, most of them being kiddie coasters. My favorite one by far is Dragonflyer at Dollywood. So, very fun family coaster. Pretty underrated too. Go watch my review. The Wonder Wheel at Coney Island is well worth riding. Yeah, that looks cool because it has like those cars that like go back and forth or whatever. You know, the Dino's Wonder Wheel. Wonder Wheel should be a coaster credit. Yeah, it really should. Tim K says Wonder Wheel should be a coaster credit. I'm sure there's probably some super geeky enthusiasts out there who are, arguing about whether that's a coaster credit or not. Do I think B&M could go bankrupt like Arrow for making a 4D coaster? No, I don't think so. The reason Arrow went bankrupt doing that was because they were already in a very bad spot, and companies like B&M and Intamin came into the game and were completely destroying Arrow. And Arrow just wasn't in a good place. So when they decided to when they reluctantly took on the project of X, they they weren't super confident in it, but they did it anyway, and it turned out bad, as we know, and they went bankrupt and couldn't finish it. So, is Red Force a Giga? Yes, 367 feet tall. I love Tennessee Tornado. I'll do a review on that and in the not too distant future, actually. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, Stanford Bridge here says, replying to Tim K, yes, I've heard people half seriously argue that about Wonder Wheel. And I'm not sure if you're joking or serious, but I can see the argument. I can definitely see that argument as well. Yeah. I don't think I'd consider a coaster credit, but I could understand where people would maybe come from with that. I could see it. Yeah, I think it was last week we talked about those Intamin free falls, the first gen, like Demon Drop, possibly being credits. Yeah. I don't consider it one currently, but I can kind of see that argument. Yeah, it's a giga. And honestly, who cares? I don't even feel like getting into that debate right now. It's I'm not arguing. Uh it's a giga based on height classification. Based on height slash drop classification. Yeah, it's a giga. Abso-freaking-lutely. Superman's a strata, you know. And I guess by that logic, even Moonsault Scramble technically was the first hyper, even though that was many years before the term was coined, but still it's a hyper, I guess. So whether I've ridden it or not, what's my guess to be the world's best mine train? Um, I love Adventure Express at Kings Island. That's a really good mine train in my opinion, but I think there are probably some better ones, like the one at Fantasia Land, I think it is, that has like tons of theming. That looks phenomenal. And the what's I'm trying to think where the one really good looking one is at. I've not been to either Busch Gardens, no. Six Flags, why they advertise Super Loops as coasters? I don't know. It's Six Flags. My favorite mine train. Hmm. Give me a minute to think about that, Stanford Bridge. I'll get back to you on those mine trains. I'll get back to you on that. Try to give you an answer. Oh, you know what? Thunderation at Silver Dollar City. That's the one I was trying to think of. That looks like a really good mine train coaster. Thunderation at Silver Dollar City. Yeah. I'll go with that. I do need to rewatch the POV because it's been so long since I watched it. Yeah, I don't know why people don't seem to like Adventure Express much. It's a great ride, really. Oh, yeah, 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 okay, Colorado Adventure, that's what it is. If Six Flags went bankrupt, who would buy the parks? Cedar Fair, maybe some of them, and then maybe SeaWorld, the other ones, I guess. Or some other company could come in from, like, overseas maybe and, like, sweep a lot of them up. What if the smallest park, Mill End Park in Oregon, I don't even know what that is, but what if they build a giga? Be pretty freaking nuts. But, okay, back to Stamford Bridge and the mine trains. I pulled up the mine train model on RCDB, and I didn't know what this one was, so I clicked on it. It's called Yagiyama Cyclone, and it's still in operation. It opened in 1988. An aerodynamics mine train. It's 56 feet tall, and it's 1,720 feet long. And this mine train looks absolutely crazy. Like, this is awesome looking. Maybe this one would actually be the best. Because it has like some go on RCDB and look up the mine trains or just type in Yagiyama Cyclone. It's spelled Yagiyama. This mine train is just like it's like a mine train on steroids, basically. Like it's like aero built and it has a 55-degree drop. That's actually a pretty sizable drop too. It's not like most mine trains where, it doesn't really have like a true drop. This one has like a big drop at the beginning and it's 55 degrees. It looks awesome. Oh, you don't think Thunderation's the best? Okay. Do I consider Expedition Everest a mine train? Yeah, I would say it is, and I did think about saying that one. That could potentially be the best. Number one most anticipated amusement park and roller coaster in the world. My number one anticipated coaster is El Toro, and my number one anticipated amusement park is, I guess, Busch Gardens Tampa. So can't wait to get to that eventually. Have fun consuming food. See ya. I love food too, so I get it. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Gemini technically, I guess, is a even though it's not listed on RCDB as a mine train, but I guess that basically is a mine train. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Death metal roller coaster. Yes, I'm all for that. That'd be awesome. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Big Thunder Mount. Oh yeah, Big Thunder. Yeah, those are really good mine trains. See, I am forgetting about a lot of the mine trains too. So those could be very well be the best. Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're Vacoma, but still, they're mine trains through and through. We're not talking about necessarily one specific amount, even though I'm looking at the Arrow ones on RCDB. Other companies make their own mine trains as well. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me tonight on Coaster Cafe. This has been a lot of fun. This is always great seeing you guys here, answering your questions, and just having a good time. So, all right, I'll check that POV out. Thank you. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm gonna get going now, and you guys have a great night. a great weekend, and I will see you all next Saturday night at 8 p.m. for episode 7 of Coaster Cafe. Thanks for joining me, all right? And I will see you guys later.